Imagine if opportunities actually did come once in a lifetime. Can you think about the endless list of things you might have missed out on? I know I can. Bishop Oyedepo, back while I was in school, he always said, don't wait to get ready. You should be ready. Because when the devil throws any weapon at you, it's not going to wait for you to go get that Bible verse. Likewise with life. A lot of times life brings things our way and they are not planned. Those are what I call unannounced opportunities. When they come our way, a lot of times, unfortunately, we are not ready for it and then we miss it. But the good news is that God brings them right back to us. Okay, you know what? In case you missed it the last time, here's another chance to do right by it. But if you miss it again and again and again, you just might not keep getting an opportunity or a chance to do the thing that you have to do, the thing that will take you to your place of rest. So you always have to be ready for it. A lot of these artists today, they've had an endless amount of trial and error. I was reading the story of a famous speaker in Nigeria by the name of Steve Harris, and he has said how he was working with Fela Durotoye, and there was an issue that Fela had to resolve, but that he wasn't available to do that. Now Harris says, because he had been practicing for months, he finally saw the opportunity that he was waiting for. He was afraid out of his mind, but he took it and he ran with it. And that was the last day he ever had any other menial job. That was an opportunity. Now, if he wasn't prepared, he would have missed it. We try over and over again, and yes, this trial and error season can be very discouraging, but it is not without its reason. God put us through this trial and error so that we can continue to learn for as long as it takes. Learn what it is that is stopping you from making that thing you need to do. You need to learn your mistakes. If you want to achieve something and you keep doing the same thing, thinking that you're going to achieve a different result, that makes no sense. Because the same input is going to bring about the same output or the same outcome. And when you're not ready, when you're not prepared, you miss out on a lot of things, which is, it's quite normal to do. It's just humane. You can't be ready or prepared for every single thing every time. But whatever it is that you've decided to do, whatever it is that you've put yourself in to do, you have to always be ready for your big break. Because here's the thing, you will have that big break. And it will just sneak up on you like that. All of a sudden, you might just realize that there's something that has to be done, and you are the only one in a position to get it done. But if you're not ready, somebody else will take that position. So when you pick up your shovel and you want to dig for water, you better make sure that you keep digging until you get that water. If you know how, or have ever seen a video on how to dig for an underground water like a well, maybe you might want to go get versed with that. Then you come back to this logic. You dig, and all you're digging out for is dirt. That's all you're digging out for. And you're gonna dig probably 6, 7, 8 feet underground. You have to keep digging. But to get to a point where water begins to seep up, but the kind of water that you're getting is dirty water. It's water mixed with sand, and it's muddy and it's dirty. But then what happens? You have to keep digging through that. And then eventually you get water as clean as spring. You get clean spring water. Water at its purest, most natural. But pick up that metaphorical shovel and continue to dig. If you're trying to go to school, or you're trying to start a business, or you want to raise a family, or you want to start a relationship, something, you're just trying to start a career to give yourself a better life. You're going to keep digging through sand, metaphoric sand, challenges, obstacles, failures. You keep digging through and you keep digging through. But then you start getting what? Water. Water begins to seep up. Dirty water. This might be the very menial results to your hard work. But the worst thing you can do for yourself is to drop that shovel and not pick it up again. You pick it up, you drop it, You pick it up as many times as necessary. You take as long as you need to regroup yourself, to strengthen yourself, but you have to go back to digging. Because otherwise, this pure natural water is just going to sit there. And you would have just given up on what would have been your biggest break. People will tell you can't do it. They will tell you, they'll laugh at you. They'll tell you all sort of things. They'll look down on you. They'll tell you how much of a failure you are. I once had somebody tell me that the only thing I was good at was babysitting. And this was in response to when I had told her that I wanted to start a cleaning business. I was so pissed off by that reply. But guess what? I started my business. And 3 months into my business, we all know how businesses are. They will not necessarily yield profit for the first few months, maybe even years after you start, especially when you don't have capital. But I put my all into that business. 3 months later, I got another job and I left the business. One might argue that I failed at it, but I don't want to look at it that way. Instead, I choose to look at it as I tried it and it just wasn't for me. If I had kept doing it, of course it would have yielded something else, but I left it. I don't choose to see myself as a failure. I will never acknowledge the words that the woman has said to me because those are lies. I am way better and I'm more good. I'm good at so more things than just babysitting. But that's an example of the kind of things that people will throw at you. Maybe even worse. But you better keep digging. Those same people, they will come right back to you and they will start singing your praises. So dig and dig and dig until you get your opportunity. Until you get that golden, rare opportunity. Be prepared for it. If you failed in a lot of things, it's only human. You're not God. You cannot do every single thing in this life. And don't put that kind of expectation on yourself. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. You cannot expect to be good at every single thing in this life. You really cannot be a jack of all trades. You cannot. Because it's only human. But what you can do is not to view your errors as failures or your mistakes as failures. View them as lessons. Pick what you have to pick and then move on. There will come a time that you will be grateful for all of those failures because you realize that they gave you hardcore experience. So today I can always put on my resume that I cleaned buildings. I was a custodian and I did that wholeheartedly. That's giving me experience. Will I necessarily use that experience? Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But the point is that I was able to learn from that. I have it as an experience, something I can always fall back to or something I can always refer to. So your failures, they don't define you. In fact, they help make you stronger. Okay? Don't look at the fact that you didn't get the experience or the results you were going for. Look at it as you were able to learn a lot of skills, gain a lot of experiences, one way or the other. There's no knowledge that is lost. Your opportunity is coming. Be ready for when it comes. Don't be like the 5 virgins that had to go get extra kerosene and then the chance when Jesus came. Be like the 5 wise virgins who had a spear right there with them. So always be ready. Take every day as an opportunity to learn something to improve yourself. And I promise you that your big break is around the corner. Thank you.